This is the Mitsubishi RVR. It was redone last year in 2011, and for 2012 they have this new GT model. The base model is called SE, and it runs from just under $20,000 up to about $25,500, and it comes with either front wheel or all-wheel drive, manual or continuously variable transmission. This is all-wheel drive exclusive with a continuously variable transmission and a great looking vehicle. In the compact crossover market, this one stands apart. It's got the aggressive looking bull nose grille or shark nose grille. This GT comes with chrome trim around the front. And also, I don't often talk about headlights, but the headlights with this vehicle are spectacular. It comes with standard HID or xenon headlights, and a lot of times you drive with xenon headlights in inexpensive cars and they're just okay. These ones give a nice wide beam, super bright, excellent headlights. The other thing you get with the GT trim is alloy wheels in 18 inches, nice looking wheels as well. It's a good looking vehicle. It has a sense of motion, it's compact, and it's going to appeal to people that are looking at maybe a CRV, a RAV4, or maybe a Tucson from Hyundai. Now, I haven't touched on the price of this RVR GT. It's just under $29,000. As you can see, it's got some nice features on the outside and it's packed with goodies on the inside. So this RVR GT is about $3,000 more than the top SE trim level. But is it worth it? Well, there's some nice goodies on the outside. We touched on those. On the inside, it continues on. We touched on the Rockford Fosgate stereo. It sounds good. The problem with the head unit is the color of the readout is this orangey red, and it's really washed out in bright sunshine. Even when it's really not that bright, it's hard to see at certain angles, especially from the driver's position. It's got a very monochromatic interior in here. It's all black. They do have soft touch materials on the dash, which is a plus, and there's a few extra chrome accents here on the GT. It would be nice if it was broken up with slightly different accents, but you probably can get a different color. Also on this GT trim, you get paddle shifters for the continuously variable transmission. With the stereo, as I mentioned, 710 watts. You also get the Bluetooth, the navigation, a backup camera, which is a nice feature. This GT model also gets the huge panoramic sunroof, which you can't see during the daylight. It's trimmed with these LED lights that light up the underneath of the moonroof at night. It's a nice accent, and I've never seen that in a vehicle before, which is excellent. The seats come with premium cloth in the GT. Obviously, this one has the higher end leather seats. The problem with the driver's position is that, you know, for shorter people, this is often the case with the auto manufacturers. They make the seats go up nice and high for little people, but for taller people, it doesn't go low enough. Now, it's not to the point where it's really that uncomfortable for me. It's just I prefer a slightly lower driving position where the steering wheel is down here and instead of me being up here. That's just a niggly thing, but it's often the case. Shorter drivers win, taller drivers lose. Now, Mitsubishi has done a couple of things differently in order to try and save on fuel. In this compact crossover class, a lot of manufacturers, instead of going down in the size of engine, have actually increased the size of engine. It wasn't that long ago that a compact crossover had, say, a 2.3 liter engine. Now they've gone up to 2.4 and even 2.5 liters. Mitsubishi has just 2 liter engine in here. It does have 148 horsepower, but sometimes it feels like it could use a little bit more power. It's probably got more to do with the transmission than the engine. Now, this vehicle, as we mentioned, comes in the SE model. That's available with a 5-speed manual transmission. If you want an automatic, and this GT only comes with it, you have to get the continuously variable unit. That's a 1-gear transmission or continuously variable ratios. Now, the problem is when you take off away from a light or a stop sign, the revs go up and then they start to fall off while you're still accelerating. So you still want to get more speed going, but the revs are actually falling, which is actually counterintuitive to what you're used to when you're driving. And oftentimes you want just a little bit more speed. So as the revs are falling, you have to put more throttle in, which I think is counterproductive to the amount of fuel that you're using. So a smaller engine, continuously variable transmission are going to be two features that are really going to affect the decision making when it comes to this vehicle. I think it's fairly well priced, especially since you get all of the extra features we talked about for $28,000. When you compare that to a lot of other compact crossovers, it's got a lot of content for the same kind of money. Plus, it has a shiftable and lockable 4-wheel drive system, which is really advantageous. I do like this RVR GT. I just wish that they gave you other options other than a continuously variable transmission.